everybody, this is Jewel Diamond Taylor on the road as usual. We're going to fabulous conferences right here in Los Angeles. Running into a wonderful sister friend. Wendy Dean is in the house. Some of you may not know me, some of you may not know her. So Wendy, share with my community who you are. You're the best person to describe. You do so many wonderful things.
Thank you. It is such a joy to be with Miss Jewel today because she's someone that I have admired for a long time. So thank you for this opportunity. I'm all about forgiveness. Basically, I always tell everyone that I am the forgiveness coach. So I do consulting, I do coaching, and I also do some community relations. So you can look me up on wendyenterprises.com. You can also learn more about what we do from forgivingforliving.org, where we help young girls between 13 and 18 who've actually experienced some negative things. What this conference is all about today. So we're so grateful to be here to support and to just be part of your world.
I love the sister love. You know, Wendy, just give me a little snippet of the benefit of someone being in your presence, experiencing your program. What is the one thing you want them to walk away with? What have you seen transpire because someone has learned the skill set of forgiveness?
What we have really learned is how when you learn to forgive, it frees you. It gives you a freedom that you can go on with your life no matter what has happened. Now, we always make sure that people understand just because you forgive doesn't mean you forget, and it doesn't mean you pardon the person from everything they've done. But what you do is you pardon it from the way it controls your soul. And that's what's important, so that you can go on and live the life that you were meant to live in purpose and turn stumbling blocks into stepping stones.
Awesome. Now, usually we get into this type of work because it's a passion. Is there an experience that you had where you had a turnaround and you realized you had to let go?
Yes.
What is the driving passion for you doing this work?
Yes. So for those that are not familiar with my story, as a young child, I'm biracial. My mother was white, my father's African American, but as a kid, coming up in the 1960s, that was difficult for my mom because her family had a hard time with that. So my mom actually abandoned me when I was around 3 years old, and I never met her again until I was an adult in college. My father at the time was very much in the streets, and I began being a victim of sexual abuse by my father at the age of 6 until I was about 16 years old. So I understand the pain that comes from that, but I also know the victory that comes from forgiveness. And today our family is closer. Our family has gone through just a mountain of healing that affects future generations. And so that's why we also do the work we do, because we know the importance it has for future generations.
That's so powerful. Isn't that powerful? See, what I want you to get is that you may be going through a situation that is painful, but you can turn that pain into a purpose, as Wendy Dean has done. And this is what I do. Self-esteem work. I'm known as a self-esteem doctor. Why? Because I know what it's like not to have any self-worth, not to know how to put on your crown, to know how to begin to speak up and to know your value in your work. I'm very passionate about that. So I am so honored to introduce to you Wendy Dean, who is a forgiveness coach. Please get in touch with her. We'll have all the information posted up below the link for this video message. God bless you and stay in the light.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you know everybody. What my sister and I are always talking about. Everybody knows your work.
Yes, and it's true.
Hello, everybody. This is Jewel Diamond Taylor on the road again. I'm always invited to speak at some awesome conferences, and today I'm in Los Angeles at the Women's Wellness Conference. And I just had to stop and talk to this young lady. She happens to be a sister of a sister friend, and we are so connected in so many ways. And I love her theme. I love her passion. Black don't crack. So I want to introduce you to Deborah Hubbard. Tell my audience about you and what this is all about, Deborah.
Well, you know what's really funny now? My label is the Black Don't Crack Girl. That's how people identify me. But I actually had the privilege of trademarking the phrase Black Don't Crack. I was going through some adversities in my life. I didn't know what end was up, trying to put a daughter through college, 2 sons through high school and junior high, and I had to reinvent myself. As a matter of fact, I am a victim of domestic violence. So today, being here means a little more to me too, because no matter what, I did not fall through the cracks. And at the end of the day, I can say Black Don't Crack. My brand is connected with resilience, perseverance, overcoming adversities. And people are wearing my shirts, and today they are saying, my black don't crack.
You know I love it because I'm the author of the book, I Am Resilient. And she doesn't look like what she's been through. What a smile. She's not a victim. She's turned her pain into a purpose. And we love your apparel. I love the thing, Black Don't Crack. We don't crack under the pressure of life. We don't crack because of a rejection or abuse. Yes, we get broken, but we learn to stand up again and be resilient. So Deborah, I thank you so much for turning your pain into a purpose. It's such a pleasure to meet you and to know what you're doing. All of us have a gift. You have a gift. Maybe you're in a place right now where you're trying to put your kids through college and life is turned upside down and you need to hear a testimony. That's what I'm all about, is bringing to you stories, testimonies. Hello, B.A. Ballinger. So good to see you today. We're both attending a conference and you just shared with me some great news. Would you tell my audience all about your great news?
Well, my great news is that my book, my children's book, is going to be coming out real soon, so you guys watch out for it. It's going to be called Hi, Mr. Tree, It's Me, Sarah. And it's a love story and educational children's book that you're going to absolutely love, the ending, because it's sort of a cliffhanger type thing, but you're going to love it.
What age group is this book written for?
Age group will be somewhere about 3 to 6. Yeah,
3 to 6.
But you know, it's always about the parents, because the parents buy the book.
Okay, that's right. I could see your books in the schools and the libraries. Now you'll probably have a pre-launching party to launch your book.
Oh, absolutely. As soon as it's done, I'm going to have it out. I'll give it to you, and you can blast it out to everybody.
And what inspired you to write a children's book?
Well, what inspired me more to write it is children. It's that simple. Children inspired me to write this book, and I know that they need it.
Do you have grandchildren, children?
You know what? That's a good question. But no, I don't. I don't have children. I don't have grandchildren, but I do have a lot of nieces and nephews, and they inspire me all the time.
Okay. Well, you know, it just intrigued me because I love trees and I love nature. So to hear the title of your book, say the title of the book again.
It's Hi, Mr. Tree, It's Me, Sarah. Sarah is taken away from her home, from the city. She goes to a farm. She gets real bored, so she walks up to a tree that she sees out in the pasture and says, Hi, Mr. Tree, it's me, Sarah. Are you as bored as I am? And that's where it begins. He starts to talk to her and tell her about what trees do and the environment. And it's very environmental book as well.
All right. Well, I wish you all the best, Mr. Ballinger, author in the making. I know your book is going to fly off the shelf. So I look forward to hearing from you once the book is actually published and in print and in circulation. I know it's going to be a bestseller.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate it. And Julie, you've always been my inspiration. So thank you very much. I feel flattered for this.
Well, you know, it's divine order that we're standing together in line at the same time, waiting to go into this conference. So it was meant to be.
Amen.
Thank you so
Everybody,
much.
this is Jill Diamond Taylor. I'm still at the Women's Conference. It's really an awesome experience. And I ran into Retha. Retha, it's been a long time since I've seen you.
It has.
Oh my gosh, you look great, honey. How you been doing?
I've been doing great, but I got to tell you, you did so much for me in my life. In around 2007, I separated from my husband, and I was at my lowest point in life.
Wow.
And I happened to run into Jill Diamond Taylor. I went to hear her speak religiously for about a year. I had such low self-esteem.
Oh my goodness.
I was hurting so bad. I had no direction. I did not know what I was going to do.
My goodness.
After just being under your anointing, under your teaching, I got the courage to go back into acting.
All right.
Since that time, I had a series, Betty White's Off Their Rockers, on NBC for 2 years, on Lifetime for a year. I'm so glad I came, though.
So Retha, we are here connecting after many years. I'm so glad to see your smile, to see your joy, to see your restoration. Tell me a little bit what has happened since we've last seen each other.
Well, in 2007 or so, I separated from my husband, and I was devastated. And I discovered you at a women's conference or something, and I literally followed you religiously for about a year.
My goodness.
I even flew to Washington, D.C. to see you at a conference there.
Oh.
And it just restored me. It refreshed me. I had lost all my self-esteem, all my self-confidence, and just sitting under your anointing, listening to your teaching, my self-confidence was restored, my self-esteem was restored, and I went back into acting, and I have had more success in my career over 60 years old when they say you cannot possibly work. than I did when I was in my 20s. I had a 2-year series on NBC called Betty White's Out There Rockers that I was one of the stars of. We were on Lifetime for a year. I've been on How I Met Your Mother, Castle. I've got a Kohl's commercial coming out soon.
Isn't that something?
And I still get your newsletters, which give me a little shot in the arm a couple of times a week. And you have been just such a blessing to me. I cannot tell you how much you have meant to me in my life.
Oh, Rita, you're giving me such a boost, because hearing you say that is a confirmation to me that I'm still on assignment and I must continue to do this work. It's very difficult sometimes to know if people are getting it, if the restoration is happening. I'm just simply planting seeds. And then to hear that you also have, recently lost a child, as I have. I just want to say God bless you. I know that's very challenging, and I only can say to you that I know what you're going through. And yet we find our joy again, don't we?
Absolutely. And I can't tell you how much just getting your newsletter, and you're so open and revealing. Mm-hmm. And so when I felt your pain, mm-hmm. I'm like you. I could really feel your pain. Yes. I knew what you were going through.
It's a pain that has no name. That's what I often say. Yeah. It just is bewildering, because no one wants to bury their child. It just seems so out of order. But then there's a great lesson we learned, that we have to let go, we have to move on, and we have to also honor the pain. I'm the type of person, I wanted to be in control. I didn't want to feel the pain. I didn't want to talk about the pain. But I found the more I talk about it and share with others, it lessens the grief, because they say that grief shared is grief that's lessened.
It's true, and you never know who sharing your story will touch.
Exactly.
And sometimes there's just situations. Someone said to me the other day, "Do you have any children?" I don't know how to answer, because I only had one child.
Well, what I do is, someone says, "How many children do you have?" I said, "I have 2," because I still claim him. He's still here with me.
I heard something on the TV the other day when someone asked someone on the TV, "Are you?" No, she was saying, "I'm not a mother anymore." And someone who was talking to her said, "You are still a mother."
Yeah.
And that helped me. Again, you never know what you say that's going to help people.
Exactly. I heard an interview the other day of a woman whose son was shot violently, and the young man, once he was released, she forgave him. And I watched the interview, I listened to the interview, and what I saw was a mother who needed to mother another son. And I thought, how courageous of her to forgive that young man, embrace him, because of course he's got to live with guilt the rest of his life. But what I saw from the mother's point of view, she enjoyed nurturing a young man because her son was gone to glory. So yeah, it's just amazing that when people ask me, how many children do you have? I say I have 2, one in heaven and one here on earth. But what I would like to close with is for you to give a message to women that are thinking, I'm too old, my time has passed, my season's over, I need to create a new life, but I don't know what to do. How would you encourage a woman that's a mature woman looking to create a new normal, a new life, that's kind of given up on herself? What did you say to yourself to get you pick up the pieces off the floor?
Well, my new saying is, it's never too late, you're never too old.
Okay.
And that can be if you're 20, 22, 30, because at 30 I thought I was old.
Mm-hmm.
At 66, I wasn't old at 30, I get it.
Yeah, you get it, yeah.
But it really is never too late, you're never too old. As long as you are still breathing, there are opportunities for you.
Say that again.
As long as you are breathing, there are opportunities for you.
Now, did you always have a passion for acting, or was that something you put on the back burner?
I was an actress before.
All right.
In the 70s, I was an actress.
Mm-hmm.
In the 80s, I did casting for TV and films. In the 90s, I went into the ministry and was a missionary. I was a chaplain at Los Angeles Mission. And then my world fell apart when I separated from my husband.
You've had many lives.
I've had many lives. And I turned around and I said, well, what can I do?
Yeah,
and
you are a resilient woman.
I said, I have to go back to acting because that's what I do.
Yeah, you are a resilient woman. And this is what I want women to hear is that, okay, the foundation may fall apart. The marriage may crumble. The child may be in trouble. You may be living with cancer. You may get laid off. But there is a resiliency in us. There's a place in us that God is still there. There's a part of us that's never been wounded. That if we just stand on that and call on that and begin to just be still and trust that seasons come and seasons go.
Absolutely.
And as you said, as long as I've still got breath, there's got to be something else for me to do.
And we can use those situations, that pain, whatever we've gone through, to help someone else.